Morning, this is day 106 on my hike from Mexico to Canada on the Pacific Crest Trail. This trail to the left down here is a skid road. I camped somewhere at the bottom way down in there where it's flat. One sec, I gotta start my watch. I had an alarm set for 5:15 that I meant to adjust to 6:15 and I forgot, so I woke up at 5:15 and I was way too tired. So I was kind of in and out of sleep then with alarms and stuff until like, I think 7:15. It's now 9 a.m. I had to spend a little while this morning fixing my shirt because I was getting too scraped up by the bag yesterday. So I did not sew it because the holes have become so large. I don't even think I had enough thread, and then I would ended up using everything I've left. And I don't know if I'll be able to get like another small miniature sew kit, and that's vital to have in my little repair kit that I carry. So I ended up using duct tape. It was not the hardest operation. We'll see if it holds up, but I have black duct tape on my white shirt now. Thanks a lot, Postmaster in Mount Shasta. You're a great person. So sleeping yesterday was hard too because I was on that road and it was all just really sharp rocks. I did find a spot that clearly someone had camped in at some point. I think it'd been quite a while because I had to move some debris, but it was very hard on the rocks. But still, I slept some. I didn't track it, but I slept okay just because I was so exhausted and tired, I think. But yeah, so really late start, 9 a.m. Not thrilled about that part of it, but what can you do? Yesterday I ended up doing 31.6 miles, which is my record. Today I want to just try to get 25 or more. Should be a more moderate day of elevation gain. I think over the next like maybe 25 to 30 miles is about somewhere between 3,500 and 4,000 of gain and about the same in descent. So yesterday I did over 6,500 in gain. So figured maybe I'll be able to go a little faster on the day, but compared to yesterday, I've already lost 3 hours of hiking time. I did sort of like having that additional time to hike while it was light or about to be light out. So I might try to shift my schedule more to a little bit earlier start for the rest of this, but after yesterday, just really couldn't get up and moving today. I am still very tired, sleepy, tired, and groggy. Body's a little sore. We'll see how it holds up. And I'll check in a bit. Again, this is day 106. Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. I think I started mentioning yesterday about monotony or boring, but what I'm finding interesting is like, for a while it was getting easier getting up. It would be interesting to like plot this out like a chart. It was getting easier, the routine of just getting up and doing this. But now it's a very daunting task after hiking 25, 30 miles a day, 25 to 30 miles a day on average, to go, just, that's all you do all day with a little lunch break basically. And then you go to bed, you wake up and do it again. Like, psychologically hard, sure, but it's very physically taxing and tolling too. And to like have to get up out of bed and just go do it again every day. And I'm not going to have many breaks at all left in this journey. So yeah, today it's hard getting moving. My left foot's hurting a little bit. We'll see. I feel like it's getting worse even as I'm filming this, but the first few steps weren't hurting, which is, I guess, good. But yeah, all right, so I'll check back in later. If anyone's just starting to watch this vlog and hasn't watched all the others, TLDR, I started April 11th at the Mexican border, and I am now well past halfway. I'm about less than 150 miles away of trail miles away from the California-Oregon border. On my way all the way up to Canada. But yeah, I had to take 24 days off for injury, 2 separate stints of 12 days each. So from a pacing standpoint, my adjusted kind of timing start date would be like the first week of May or so. But from actually like doing this lifestyle, and this is what I wanted to address now, I've been out here for 4 months. 4 months. And it's kind of starting to take its toll a little bit. I don't know how to pinpoint the feelings exactly, but it's really exhausting never being in the same place for more than a night. That's why those few nights in Shasta were so kind of rejuvenating psychologically. I was able to actually breathe for a minute, knowing I'd be in the same bed for 3 nights. But for the most part, just always on the move and starting to get a little, I don't know, Heart of Darkness kind of vibes out here. Like, just been out here 4 months. There's not many people around. You know, spend a lot of time with yourself and your thoughts, which is what I wanted. But I just wanted to document and address that it's, I think, starting to have a bit of a compounding effect. Well, I just started still. These last couple videos are all kind of almost recorded sequentially, but this first 12 and a half, 13 miles should be pretty cruisy, as they say out here. I've been learning that term in this context, but pretty easy. It looked like maybe 1,500 or so in descent and less than 1,000 elevation. It was like, I think 850 or 900, depending on exactly the mileage, but that's a good way to start. I definitely wanted to prefer getting the hardest part out of the way first, but right now with how I'm feeling, I'll take a little easier start. And because it's late, it'll be good if I can get some extra miles in. But I am walking a little slower because of my stress fracture feeling on my left foot. But at the moment, it's not in excruciating pain. Okay, so it's just a minute or two after I said the last video, and I'm limping already. So gotta love having a stress fracture and walking 2,000 miles or 1,500 miles. So freaking frustrating. The reason I couldn't really, or partially why I couldn't get up earlier today, is because I went to bed pretty late because I didn't get into find my tent site till it was dark, and then I had to set up, obviously, and then do my video, make dinner, and my little routine of cleaning up my body with wipes and everything. So ideally, I think right now, as I'm reflecting, I don't really enjoy setting up my campsite in the dark. Like, I can do it, I've done it, but I don't like it. It just makes it harder to find a spot, and it's just easier when it's light out. So I think I'm stating the intention to shift my schedule to one where I start earlier and end earlier. That was my plan yesterday. I already addressed yesterday how I kind of botched that, so it threw me off for today. I'm kind of back to old ways, but oh, check this out. You can see my shirt. I tried duct taping, it's already coming out, but this side too has a bunch. I don't know if you can see it with the strap. As long as the backpack isn't rubbing against me and it can just get me through the next week till I get my shirt inside Valley, I'll be okay. But obviously it's not very aesthetically pleasing. Doesn't feel the best either. It's definitely better than the backpack rubbing, scraping against my skin. Trying a new style out right now, not for style purposes, just calling it that, but just, I usually don't have my hair tied when I'm walking and have the hat on, but I tried putting in a little ponytail and through the hole. I hope I'm capturing it in the video there. Kind of give it a new feel. Oh, some signs of civilization. I'm at the Parks Creek Trailhead in Shasta Trinity National Forest. You can still see the moon up there. It's been pretty bright the last few days. I actually covered my face with my base layer leggings that I wasn't wearing because it was so hot. But it was more manageable. The temperature was definitely better. I was able to actually like fall asleep. That's a beautiful, beautiful view out there. Okay, onward I go. Just saw a sign for said Highway 3 this way down the Pacific Crest Trail, so I looked. It's about 20 and a half miles from where I am. I'm still just getting started. less than a mile in the day. So that's a good milestone. Looks like that's the way you'd get to a town called Callahan, California. Not stopping there, but Highway 3 and 20.5 miles through what I believe is all still Shasta Trinity National Forest. So this big cliff fire closure is in exactly 40 miles from where I'm at now. Not obviously gonna make it there today, but tomorrow. So I need to start thinking about my plan. Like I said, a lot of people have been hitching from Highway 3, which is only 20 miles away, so they're skipping 20 miles of PCT because it's easier to get to Etna that way. So I'm a little worried because I don't want to skip just the principles that I have laid out as to how I'm doing this hike every mile, except if it's, you know, shut down or legally required not to or whatever, which is this. But see, a lot of people skip those miles. So I heard it's going to be hard to get a hitch from there where the closure starts. So I got to figure that out. Also, I've heard it's all hearsay, right? I don't know, but heard from some people there was a sign someone wrote at Highway 3, which is where most people have been hitching. Again, the closure isn't for another 20 miles past that. Highway 3 is 20 miles from here. The closure is 40 miles from here. A lot of people are just hitching at Highway 3 and skipping those 20 miles. I'm not going to do that, but it could cause me some logistical issues. But at Highway 3, apparently there's been a note left by some people that said they went the additional 20 miles that you're allowed to go, and it was so smoky they had to turn back. So I've heard that on one end of the spectrum. And then yesterday I met a couple that was section hiking going southbound, talked to them for a bit. They said the closure isn't even mandated by the fire department. They said it's just the PCTA, Pacific Crest Trail Association, that's mandated to close. And that's obviously a cause, or because they're concerned about liability and mitigating risk. And that the fire team said it's actually not really a huge issue and it's unlikely to spread to where the PCT is over there. So I've heard totally both ends of the spectrum. Not sure what to expect, but that is coming up. Depending on how much mileage I do today, probably be there by tomorrow early afternoon, something like that, mid-afternoon. I don't like the feeling of having gotten this late of a start. Again, I didn't start till 9 a.m. basically, but hopefully be able to make up for it. But I am a little beat up. My foot somehow feels the best it's felt in weeks right now. I'm afraid to even say anything. Don't want to jinx it, but yeah, it's really encouraging. It's like I've learned. I kind of felt the pain moving a little bit, like to where it's a little more identifiable. And two, I kind of think I understand now, specifically the way in which I push off or land that hurts it. So I have been adjusting how I walk for over a week now, like consciously or subconsciously, because it was hurting so bad. But now I actually think I know kind of the movement that would really cause it to hurt. It's like it happened probably 5 or 6 times yesterday, specifically where I did this movement and I was like kind of pushing off from my big toe kind of inward to outward, like to the side almost, or landing on it a certain way, like if a rock presses up on the middle part of the foot, like the arch. So I'm just being really careful to not step that way. And again, I still did it 5 or 6 times yesterday, but versus where it was essentially that kind of pain almost every step, I'll take it. And hopefully, if that is the issue, I can avoid re-injuring it and it'll slowly heal as I'm still walking over the next couple weeks. That would be ideal, if not sooner somehow, miraculously. Well, the duct tape fixed didn't last very long on both sides. I didn't even know that until I put the camera out. Yeah, I knew it was not the best solution, so I'm not surprised at all. I just have only 2 threads left. I don't even know of string, I don't even know. One, I just sewed it and it didn't hold. It just ended up ripping right next to the seam that I sewed. And then two, I don't even know if I have enough because these holes are so big. And as mentioned, three, I need to keep that in case I need it for other stuff. Like, that was hard enough to find on trail. Like, especially as it gets more sparse where I'm heading, I don't think I'm gonna have that for sale. So, oh, my shadow gives it away. I've been heading due west for a while. Actually, on the micro, but also on the macro, I had mentioned a while ago, it was 100, 150 miles or so where the trail cuts west and gets closer to the coast. About definitely the majority of the way through that. Have to look exactly, but soon enough we'll probably be around and back north. I've heard about the NorCal blues, and I definitely might have a mild case of that given everything. I mean, I'm so frustrated with these injuries, but that aside, I've been saying similar things too about how I'm feeling just a little fatigued in all ways, and kind of it's getting monotonous and all that. I know getting to Oregon will be a huge morale boost, but yeah, I mean, it's just been a long time out here, and I think Mount Etna is going to be nice to see, both the town and I think the mountain, but Mount Shasta was a big thing for me. But now that that's sort of behind me, both kind of literally and figuratively, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but by figuratively I mean like it, that piece of the adventure, and then literally meaning like physically behind me. I might get some views at it again, but it's this is just sort of this, feels like a little bit like no man's land stretch of space that I need to just kind of, and this is purely psychologically, obviously it's so very beautiful and stuff. I just mean like I have this stretch now to get to the Oregon border, and in a way start thinking about how much time you've been out here, and I'm still in California 4 months later. Just kind of definitely can mess with you a little bit psychologically. I'm not depressed or anything like that. I feel good in that department. I just am exhausted of kind of doing this day in and day out, and both psychologically and obviously physically, mentally, emotionally too, a little bit. Oh yeah, I meant to tell y'all, so that CBD THC cream that I bought in Mount Shasta, which cost $50, it doesn't seal properly. So it's got one of those child-proof locks in it where you have to like pinch it and open it, and then underneath it is this ball where then you squeeze the liquid and it comes on the ball, and you rub the ball into your body like a little massage ball, a roller. Yeah, well, when I put that cap back on, if I still squeeze the container, it leaks out from the sides. So I didn't squeeze it intentionally, but like it got bumped in my bag, obviously, and it was kind of all over everything. Such a waste. So annoying. I paid in cash too. It's just like, I don't know. You have to pay in cash there, but I don't know if it's worth trying to call them and tell them like it's just such a mess. But that's so expensive for the product, and I like lost a bunch of it already, and it made a mess. Could lose more because it doesn't actually seal. So absurd. There were 4 people yesterday hiking the PCT thru-hiking northbound, just like me, that I met on trail yesterday. I did end up passing all of them and finishing probably like at least 5 miles ahead of all of them. But given such a late start, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them are back ahead of me now. But I have not seen a soul all day yet. Only been a few hours, but it is just next level quiet and isolated out here. Not necessarily saying it's good or bad. I'd actually skew towards more liking it than not, as previously discussed overall, but it is a weird feeling. There's a lot of red rock. Oh, get to see Shasta again. There's a little sighting. Check out this cliff. Well, I had to stop to do some things like put on leukotape on my left pinky with that blister. It's hot spotting again. On my right ring toe with that weird wart bunion type pain thing. And then I had to get water, but I jerry-rigged this. I took the tape off because it was serving no purpose. And I put my bandana under the strap, which should be a little bit less painful for now. Temporary solution. I've been hiking at a 3-mile-an-hour pace, but because of the late start and with stops, like I had to tend to these blisters and crap and stuff like that. It is noon and I've only done 7.5 miles, which is pretty bad and definitely behind even my normal pacing, let alone what I want to start trying to do like yesterday. Hey everyone, this is Phoenix.
How's it going?
He is the first Sobo PCTer I've encountered on trail.
Heck yeah.
So he's going from Canada to Mexico. So it's the first one I've passed, and I'm super pumped. Just chatted for a few minutes, but nice to meet some other full through hikers.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Started June 21st.
Wow, crushing it, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll see you in a bit.
Have a good one.
Well, that was exciting. I was waiting for the moment to finally start passing somebody going southbound, so I'm pretty excited for that moment. Yeah, basically, he said that in Oregon, he was passing 40 PCT hikers going my direction, northbound, Nobo, every day, pretty much. And then as soon as he hit the California border, it died down to maybe 15, and then the last few days he said it was really like six yesterday. I was a 7th today, so it's a good barometer. But he said he met so many people in Oregon who skipped Northern California, or big chunks of it, just whether because their visas were expiring and they couldn't finish the whole hike in time and they would prefer to do Washington and Oregon, or people who tried to justify it because there was a burn zone or whatever. This little 20-mile stretch that's closed, said that he knew people who were skipping all the way to Oregon border, which is like 140 miles or something, 120 miles. So it seems like, in his words, he said people seem to just come up with whatever excuse they can to kind of skip and justify it. But yeah, and then obviously anecdotally, but I knew a bunch of people that I was hiking with that skipped parts are ahead here too. So guess there's 6 people ahead of me today. I'm guessing it's all those people I mentioned that I passed yesterday. Based on how he described them, I think they are. So me sleeping in today, definitely everyone got ahead of me again. But yeah, it's quiet out here. People doing this every step the way I am, like not skipping miles, is few and far between, it seems like, at this point. But I'm happy to be able to still say I'm doing the full hike, even though it is really quiet out here. And I'm really excited to start passing some more southbounders. I don't think there will be as many. They issue 15 permits a day for southbounders. Northbound is 50 a day, and it's twice as long, the open season, for where the days you can get a permit, going Nobo than Sobo. So a lot more skewed in the northbound direction. But he made it sound like he only knew of maybe 2 people that had been ahead of him that obviously I must have not passed directly, and then a good amount behind. But when I say good amount, it was only probably like 8 people. I'm sure there's plenty more, but cause it's definitely be a lot less. But still, the people, I will be passing more people going southbound, and should increase and take up. So pretty excited to just to chat with people, get some good intel. You know, this guy I just met was so nice. He's like, hey, do you have numbers for people to give you a ride from the where the closure's at? So yeah, it'd be good to swap stories and information as past people, and not like it really matters, but I'm definitely partial to really only want to chat up the people at the moment, at least, that are doing the full hike Sobo, or section hikers. You know, you can get some good information, but otherwise gotta just keep trekking along. But it'll be nice to see other people doing this adventure. But I was really waiting for that moment the last week or two because I knew it'd happen at some point. So again, just kind of a cool, exciting day. So now we're officially blended Sobo Nobo on the same trail. Well, I was trying to capture just this backdrop and my pack and like me filtering the water here. I wish like this when I had someone else like from this perspective. I couldn't get the camera to stay, so I guess you can just kind of piece it together. I have the most immense gratitude right now for how I'm feeling. Like my shins are a little sore and tendons and ligaments, whatever. That's all normal, expected. Some crazy abrupt reason, my stress fracture thing isn't hurting like crazy today. This is the best so far it's felt for this much time I've walked in a day in over 2 weeks. And I'm coming off of what it was like yesterday morning. I am completely in shock and have no rational explanation for it. I was kind of offering up some prayers, if you will, or meditations or whatever, asking that like I need this fixed. I'm not saying that's what happened at all, because I've still stepped here and there and I can feel it, but it is just a very noticeable difference right now than it's been for the last 14 plus days. I have no explanation as to why. Immense gratitude right now for that being the case, and I just hope that it remains so I can keep continuing on my mission. So because of that, my spirits are up a little bit right now. Also, something about seeing the southbound hiker, it's in a way a bit of a milestone too. Just the camaraderie of someone else doing this, but from the other direction, is pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, admittedly, I'm probably more volatile emotionally out here than I've been most of my life ever. I'm usually pretty even keeled, but it is just so drastic. But out here it can be, but for me it's almost primarily injury driven, the frustration. So when I'm having a good day like this, I'm not going to hide the fact that I'm feeling a little better and optimistic and happy emotionally. So very, very grateful for how I'm doing at the moment. I have picked up a few miles, so it's a little after 1 and I'm a little over 11 miles in. So feeling a little bit better there. I'm for pacing standpoint on the day, but still have a long ways to go. The next water source is in 4 miles. I'll either stop for a quick lunch there or push a little bit more and then do it after. This literally looks like an art installation you'd see at Burning Man or something. Like, that is art. I see sort of like a galloping horse, kind of, from like a post-apocalyptic Wild West vibe kind of movie or something. I'm gonna take a photo too. Well, it's 2:45, 15 miles in, well, 15.4. I'm gonna take my break here, so I got the normal process going. Gonna make my lunch in a minute, but have my feet elevated on my bag and water, gravity filtering. Oh, it's hot out. 3:30, kind of peak heat. Definitely higher up in elevation, so I think that's helping, but it's not as bad as it was 2 days ago or even some yesterday, but it's still hot. For sure. All right, you can see I've improved my rig here for this padding so my shoulders aren't scraping. Asshole post office master person. Anyways, I am 19 miles in. It's like 4:45. Got 7-mile water carrier here, so I just filled up this creek and I'm about to get moving. I'm pretty sore. It's not the injury pain, which I'm so grateful for, but I am like pretty sore. Like my plantar fasciitis is flaring up a little bit, and just my legs feel a little beat up, likely from that hard day yesterday. 6,500 gain in elevation. I did almost 32 miles, so I think I might make today a little lighter of a day. 7 miles from here where the water is, I could camp. That put me at like 26 on the day. That feels about right. And then finish it out tomorrow and try to get a hitch or ride into Etna, resupply, and get back out on trail. A nice, but albeit brief, break from the sun. Passing Highway 3. This is where some people, I think a good amount, have been hitching. They're skipping, still doing 19.8, so it's called 20 miles of PCT before the closure. But there's definitely people, a lot of people have been hitching from here, but I will be marching forward. California-Oregon Stage Road. Ooh, I am sweating bullets. Just cruised pretty hard, or that's the wrong word. I pushed pretty hard up quite a climb after hitting that Highway 3. I actually haven't looked at the elevation, so I didn't really feel like it. Sometimes it's easier psychologically not to know exactly what's ahead, but a little plateau here. Pretty sure we're gonna keep climbing for a while. Trinity Alps Wilderness, Klamath National Forest, or something like that. This is where the closure's at. Probably like, let's see, 16, 17 miles up, something like that. Just passed my second PCT Sobo hiker. She was flying. I learned her name was Lightning. Someone actually proposed that as a trail name for me a week ago for a handful of reasons. But anyways, chatted for a little bit. It's really cool to see these thru hikers coming the other way that are on the same journey, just from an entirely different perspective, different seasons for each section, but largely in a way the same journey. Mine, kill, destroy something, hunt it down, kill it. I'm an annihilator, destroyed, the one that you fear. I am the one your mom told you to be afraid of. I am the bump in the night. I am here to kill you. I'm not here to play with you or be your friend. I am find your friends at home, or tell your girlfriend that you get a little pat on the head, rub on the back, because I'm not the one. I'm not here to make you happy or comfortable or appease you. You are sheep to me. I am here to destroy you, mangle you, kill you, finish you, and now demolish you. That's what I'm here for. You want anything else, you in the wrong place. All right, it's 7:30. I've been sitting here for probably about 10-15 minutes. Found a really nice place for a tent, and it was debating if I want to go another couple miles, but I really did not like hiking last night in the dark and having to deal with all that. So I think I'm a little minorly traumatized where I'm swinging to the other direction now and want to make sure I have plenty of light. So even though the sunset's still in like 40 minutes or so, but given I did so many miles yesterday, I want to be careful about pushing myself too much to let my body try to adjust in theory. So I've done 26 on the day. Yesterday I did 31.6, so I think I'm going to call it. It's 15 miles to where the closure is. So I'll get up in the morning, do 15 miles, hopefully find a ride and get into Etna, and then resupply, and then hopefully get a ride back out and get back on trail. So tomorrow's a different day. Going to be a long day in its own right, but I think I'm going to try to get all my chores done now, go to bed, and wake up at a reasonable or earlier time. So I've been sitting here debating, but I think I'm going to call it. My feet are throbbing. I'm really grateful for how my left foot held up today. I did hurt it once about 2 miles back, but besides that, I was very careful not to step on it the way it's hurting, and I think hopefully that'll allow it to keep healing. It definitely feels the best right now than it has in 2 weeks. I'm so grateful for that, and I don't know why out of nowhere it stopped hurting to the degree it's been yesterday, and then just today is better. So I will catch you all tomorrow. This has been day 106, where I saw my first solo hikers, and I'm looking forward to continuing my journey.